Imagine parking a $40 billion fleet of state-of-the-art wide-body airliners in a desert airfield because a regulatory agency refuses to let them carry a single passenger. This is the exact high-stakes economic nightmare unfolding inside Boeing's flagship twin-engine wide-body program. In mid-July 2026, Boeing confirmed that its grueling 777-9 test fleet has officially logged over 4,800 cumulative flight hours across 1,700 test flights. But this milestone isn't just an engineering triumph, it is a desperate race against financial insolvency. The 777X program is running a staggering 7 years behind its original regulatory schedule. Launch airlines like Emirates, Lufthansa, and Qatar Airways are now staring down a heavily delayed entry-to-service target pushed deep into mid-2027. According to consolidated financial statements, every extra month these prototype airframes spend burning jet fuel, executing validation flights, bleeds millions of dollars in corporate cash reserves, inflating the development program well past standard industrial caps. This 7-year bottleneck has completely disrupted the balance of power inside the wide-body duopoly market. While Boeing struggled with software overhauls, flight control revisions, and structural setbacks, Airbus completely capitalized on the vacuum. Airbus has locked down multi-billion-dollar international wide-body orders for the A350 family, leaving international long-haul carriers completely stranded without a modern capacity alternative. The 777X is no longer just a new jet, it is the only weapon Boeing has left to break Airbus's long-haul dominance. Today, we are opening the industrial blueprints to expose the hidden macroeconomics behind the 777X's final certification gauntlet. How does a massive 40-ton carbon fiber wing survive 63,000 cycles of destructive fatigue testing? How do the massive General Electric GE9X engines handle extreme Arctic thermal stress? And why is the survival of the world's largest aerospace exporter riding entirely on the results of these final flight hours? While the active test fleet executes maneuvers in the sky, a fourth dedicated 777-9 airframe has been undergoing a brutal, quiet torture gauntlet inside a custom fatigue test rig in Everett. Industrially monitored stress testing logs show that heavy hydraulics have repeatedly flexed the massive carbon fiber composite wings up and down through a staggering 63,000 cycles. This aggressive simulation exposes the airframe to multiple operational lifetimes of continuous takeoffs, severe atmospheric turbulence, and cabin pressurization forces before the plane ever carries a single commercial passenger. The engineering focus of this exhaustive test is validating the single most complex mechanism on the aircraft, the folding wingtips. To allow this massive widebody to fit inside standard airport gate dimensions designed for legacy 777 jets, the outer 11 feet of each wing fold vertically after touchdown. This mechanism introduces intense structural pressure points. The FAA requires absolute proof that the electronic locking pins can survive decades of structural vibration without a single failure scenario during flight cycles, creating an intense engineering barrier for Boeing to clear. To unlock true global utility for the fleet, the 777X program has advanced into the critical ETOPS validation phase. ETOPS, or Extended Range Twin-Engine Operational Performance Standards, dictates how many hours a twin-engine jet can legally fly away from the nearest diversion airport over vast oceans or polar regions. Boeing recently executed a high-risk long-haul test flight directly over the North Pole to prove the system reliability of the massive General Electric GE9X engines under extreme thermal stress. For an aircraft carrying up to 400 passengers, an engine failure over the middle of the Pacific Ocean cannot be a fatal event. The FAA's rigorous testing forces Boeing to prove the aircraft can fly safely for over 5 hours on a single operating engine, while managing cabin pressure systems and electrical grids. Clearing this ETOPS gauntlet is the absolute key to the widebody's economic model. Without it, international network airlines cannot route the plane over optimal transoceanic corridors, rendering the aircraft financially useless. The ultimate driver behind this testing urgency comes down to a fundamental rule of commercial aerospace economics. An airline does not purchase a plane with an upfront cash sum. Instead, carriers pay small advance deposits during the assembly phase, but up to 70% of the final purchase price is transferred on the exact day the physical aircraft keys are handed over. Every year, the 777X remains unmonetized in test configuration represents an immense capital freeze. Because of this cash structure, Boeing is trapped holding billions of dollars in dead inventory. Dozens of built, undeliverable 777X airframes are sitting wrapped in protective plastic across airfields in Washington and Moses Lake. Boeing must pay continuous asset maintenance fees to protect these parked planes from environmental wear, all while generating zero delivery cash flow from them. This cash burn loop leaves the manufacturer completely vulnerable, surviving purely on short-term debt extensions until full FAA clearance is unlocked. Despite the crippling administrative delays and financial strains, the core economic thesis of the 777X remains incredibly powerful. By sculpting internal cabin sidewalls, Boeing engineered an extra 4 inches of cross-section width, allowing airlines to comfortably deploy a high-margin, 10-abreast economy layout. Combined with the massive fuel efficiency gains of the GE9X engines, the 777X delivers a unit operating cost per seat mile that Airbus cannot easily match with smaller wide-body airframes. This structural advantage is why global megacarriers like Emirates and Qatar Airways refuse to cancel their orders despite years of frustration. They understand the long-game route economics. If Boeing can successfully navigate these final FAA testing phases and execute its 2027 delivery promises, the 777X will capture an absolute monopoly over high-capacity intercontinental aviation. Boeing's ultimate gamble is still far from over, and the future of global aviation is riding completely on the results of these final flight hours.